So just focus on the two lists for just a minute, okay? So the first list starts with actions, and then it leads to motives. The second list starts with motives, and then it leads to actions. Did you guys notice that? The first list is personal, it's kind of private. The second list is more social, kind of corporate, things you do against one another. The first list has to do with feelings, some things that are inside you, emotions that you feel. The second list has more to do with speech. But in each case, they're both things that you can think of them as little monsters that reside in each and every one of our hearts. And those little things, if left to materialize, those are the things that will ruin your relationships in life, the things that you care about more than anything else, and the people you care about more than anyone else. That's why you've got to be killing it, or it will be killing you. Now, you might be thinking, that's a little dramatic, Wes. I mean, be killing it or it's killing you. What's all this? You're being a little bit extreme, I think. And you might think to yourself, take a thing like anger. Is anger really going to ruin my life? Is that what you're trying to say? Or say your sexual immorality, that was a junk drawer term, any kind of sex outside of God's design. So you might be thinking, are you really telling me that a little bit of sex with my boyfriend or a little bit of sex with my girlfriend, that's really going to keep me from living the greater life? And I get that sentiment. I kind of get the idea that you're being a little bit, harsh. I don't normally, you don't normally talk this way. So why are you being so dramatic? Why is Paul being so dramatic? And the reason, I think you get a clue of the reason why when he says in verse 5 that he talks about covetousness and he says, which is idolatry. At the heart, covetousness is idolatry. Covetousness is you putting yourself in God's place. And so if anger is saying, you owe me, you did me wrong, so I'm angry because you owe me, greed is saying, God owes me. He shouldn't have given that person that thing. He shouldn't have done that to that person. And so you put yourself in the place of God. That greed makes you an idolater. But if you think about all those sins, at root, if you take any of those sins and just leave them and let them materialize into their full ugly selves, each of those things can lead you to idolatry. They're all little miniature idols of the heart. And let's prove my point. Take sexual immorality, for example. Do you know anybody in your life who has taken their sexuality, used it in a way that didn't honor the Lord, they were liberated, and so they wanted to do whatever they want with their sex life. And those same people ended up using their sexuality to a degree that now their life is miserable because they deviated from God's design.